Massive randomized study is proof that surgical masks limit coronavirus spread, authors say.
Here's a summary of the article.
I think this should basically end any scientific debate about whether masks can be effective in combating COVID at the population level, Jason Aberluck, an economist at Yale who helped lead the study, said in an interview, calling it a nail in the coffin of the arguments against masks. The group credited a cocktail of 4 interventions that helped substantially increase mask usage in the community, providing no-cost masks delivered door-to-door, offering information about the benefits of masks, reinforcement of mask wearing, and endorsement of masks by trusted local leaders. 3. The study shows how to motivate people in a community to wear masks, by making masks a social norm. The study does not quite claim to be the final word on masks. The authors found that while cloth masks clearly reduced symptoms, they cannot reject the idea that unlike surgical masks, they may have only a small effect on symptomatic coronavirus infections, and possibly none at all. The results don't necessarily show that surgical masks are much better than cloth masks, but we find much clearer evidence of the effectiveness in surgical masks, he said. The authors plan to conduct more research, including an evaluation of how masks limited symptomatic spread, whether by decreasing the viral load so fewer people experience symptoms, or by preventing infections entirely.
This post received a score of 61,000, with an upvote ratio of 81%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Anybody have a link to the study that isn't behind a paywall? Thank you. Actually, looking a bit closer, it does actually demonstrate efficacy of mask usage.
Thank you for following up your own comment.
To say nothing of the whole doctors wearing them for the last century thing.
I actually had someone claim to me online that they require special positive pressure air handling systems to make wearing masks not detrimental. These guys are so far gone.
I saw someone on Facebook try to argue with my friend who's a doctor that they pump the or full of oxygen and that's why DRS can wear masks. When the actual doctor said that is not only false, but dangerous and insane, the non-doctor just said, agree to disagree, and said she has her opinion and my doctor friend has hers. This is the problem. Facts don't exist to these people, and when faced with a literal expert they believe they are on par or have greater knowledge. It's insanity.
Greater than the non-doctor just said, agree to disagree, and said she has her opinion and my doctor friend has hers. This is the most frustrating development over the last few years, which really seemed to balloon with social media, is the rejection of fact. It's like if you point to a stop sign and say, that's red, they say, no it's blue, and when you say they're wrong they try and write it off as a matter of opinion. No, it's irrefutable fact.
This isn't a disagreement. You just chose to believe a lie. Why do you want to believe a lie?
Just imagine if we actually wore N95, KN95, FFP2, KF94 ones now that they're more available.
So what we already knew for 100 years regarding surgical masks and the spread of illness.
And yet there's a bunch of knuckleheads that don't believe that.
Not only that, they're convinced it's bad for your health due to CO2 buildup.
Those are people who don't understand that the size difference between oxygen, nitrogen and CO2 molecules is several orders of magnitude different than a virus. When you breathe, you're breathing individual oxygen and nitrogen atoms. When you exhale, you're breathing out molecules made up of 3 atoms. The COVID virus is several thousand atoms in size. It's like the difference between a single marble and an automobile.
Your point still stands, but the oxygen and nitrogen are actually diatomic.
Thanks for taking one for the team with that small correction.
Every little bit helps.
I'm glad that we're finally confirming the germ theory from 300 years ago.
You joke, but there are idiots out there who will literally argue that germ theory is false.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.